Hi, Julie, and welcome to our podcast. It's great to have you here.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's nice to have you finally. And I was thinking just to start off, maybe you could introduce yourself a little bit and just tell us kind of, who you are and what it is that you do.
So I'm Julie Vanloo. I'm from Belgium. I'm 27 years old, and I'm a professional athlete, basketball. I play for the national team of Belgium, and I play in Spain at this current moment in Zaragoza.
Yes, yes, exactly. So, I mean, when did you first start playing basketball and why did you start?
It was at a very young age. I was 4 years old, and I was already dribbling the ball inside. Every time we went to a store, I was asking my mom if I could have a ball, and my mom just went crazy. She was just like, "I'm gonna put you in a basketball school," and that's actually how it started. I went there when I was 4 years old, and I never stopped. I tried a lot of other sports, but the love for basketball was always really big.
Yeah, yeah, because I was gonna say I know that you're a big fan of soccer as well. You play quite a lot of soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. I mean, what other sports did you play aside from soccer and
Um,
basketball?
I I tried a lot of things. Like I tried as athletics. I was really quick, and I am still, although I'm a little bit older now, but I'm still quick. I tried swimming. I tried rope skipping, and of course I tried, and I still do. Played soccer, and I must say that my passion is as high as it is for basketball as it is for soccer. Those are my two sports that really have half my heart and half my heart, I think.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because you said in the end it was kind of, I mean, yeah, you fell in love with basketball. That was the thing that you chose. But do you know like why you chose basketball over any of the other sports
Well,
or?
I don't know. I think I didn't go into a team with soccer at a young age, which I did with basketball.
Mhm.
And soccer was more like on the streets with my friends at school, and I just learned the skills there. And apart from that, I was just playing basketball um, already in a club, and I was dedicated to it, and I loved it. And I never really, I would say, wanted to like say, hey, let me quit basketball and let me just try soccer. It never really came up to my mind
Mhm.
because I was just having fun. Besides basketball in the gym, I was just having fun outside on the streets, because we are a different generation than
Mm.
the young ones now. We didn't have phones. We were just outside until the sun was going down and hoping it was not raining. Um, like I didn't know PlayStation and all that. The only thing I had was a little Game Boy, and my mom gave it
Yeah.
to me every Friday night. That's the only time I could play on it. So I was just playing soccer outside all the time. So I never really thought of trying it until I was, I think, 12 or 13. Every Wednesday I went with a boys team to play soccer.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I just loved it. And the funny part was that I was playing basketball with um, my coach, and the coach of the soccer team was the brother of the coach of the basketball team.
Mm.
So I had the two
Okay.
brothers as a coach, and the basketball coach, he was getting mad at the brother. He was like, "Don't take my player because I don't want her to get injured. She's very talented," and blah blah blah. So they just told me I was very talented in basketball, and I was just like, okay, let me just continue with that.
Okay, so that's kind of why you decided to go that route.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never really consider going for a career in soccer because at a very young age I was already with the national team. I was already
Mhm.
playing with the first team. Like at a very young age, I was already playing with the olders, playing with a better team, playing with, like, there was
Mhm.
already um outspoken that I was a good player. I knew
Mhm.
already at a young age that there is something I can do with this. So
Okay, so yeah, you had people telling you obviously that you were talented, you could really become really good, you were a good player. At what time would you say that you felt yourself that, okay, this is what I want to do? Like, I want to become a professional basketball player and do it for a living?
mm, I would say at a very young age. I think when I was 14, when I
Mm-hmm.
was 14, 15, because when I was 15, I was called up for the national team seniors to play with them when I was 15. So obviously that was very young. At a young age, I had to grow up very quickly. Um, and then you just realize, okay, I can make my living out of this, and that's the only thing that I want. And it kind of got, I'm not going to say it got bad at school, but I was getting less and less interested in school because I was
Mm-hmm.
just so focused on basketball. I was just practicing every day, and the only thing that interested me in school was languages because I knew I needed them to go to other countries. And then when it was
Mm-hmm.
history or mathematics, I didn't care. So yeah, at a very young age, I always knew what I wanted. As I think since I was born, I always know what I want. I'm very like goal orientated.
Yeah.
I always know what I want. I'm not a person that just wanders around and live without a goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not me.
Yeah, so you already had your mindset quite early then. And did you know from the beginning, like, was it, would you say, like a dream to become a professional basketball player? Or did you know already that, okay, this is what I want to do and I know that I can make it? Or when did you know kind of that, okay, this can actually become, my life?
It was definitely a dream. Like, to be honest, I
Mm.
always dreamed of doing the thing that I like every single day.
Yeah.
And as when I got older, I started to realize that it was really possible. When you play European Championships with your own age, and you see that you can be the MVP, you're getting in the best five of the European Championship. Like, when you're young, sometimes you get so many rewards, and
Mm-hmm.
you need to go. You need to be careful how you go with it. Sometimes it can break you because you think you're already the best and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it can either make you and say like, oh my god, yeah, I can do something with this. Let's work harder, and let's try to see what we can do. But it was always a dream. I wouldn't say that I was sure, because I was just playing ball in Belgium, and I was just balling out, and I just loved it because I had no worries. I like really
Yeah.
I was a kid without worries. I didn't care. I was very, very fearless in everything I did. Never overthink, never. Yeah, I was just doing my thing, and then all of a sudden the chance came, and I was like, yes, my dream just came through. So it was more of a dream slash a goal than
Mm-hmm.
knowing that I would be able to do it. Like, it comes with a dream,
Yeah.
then you see, oh, I'm actually good, and then, oh, opportunities are coming, and oh yeah, like it goes with steps, but it definitely
Yeah.
all started with a dream. Definitely, definitely.
Okay, okay. And I read as well that you were originally supposed to maybe go to the US, right? To actually play
Yeah,
basketball, yeah, at Iowa
yeah,
State University.
absolutely.
But I understand that never happened. I mean, was this part of the dream as well? And maybe a way of,
It was a big dream. Like,
Yeah,
the dream for me was going to college, and after that,
okay.
play professional, like overseas or WNBA, whatever
Yep.
whatever was the goal that could come out of that. And it's a funny story because it's because of school that I couldn't make it.
Okay.
Everything was said and done. They had my locker ready, had my jersey ready. I was ready to go to America, and in July, in the middle of July, when everything was said and done, I think I got a phone call, and they said, "Listen, your school is not enough. The NCAA will not let you in." And I'm like, so I just saw my dream fall apart. You
Mm-hmm.
just because and I was kind of mad at myself too, because I didn't care about school, and I should have been caring more about school, um because it's important. You see, to go into a college, I needed to to succeed in a couple of more grades. And they said, yeah, you can come to high school for a year and blah blah blah. And I was like, nah. They're like, no, everything happens for a reason. This must be not my
Mm-hmm.
time. There must be another road ready, or another path ready for me. This is what it is. But definitely was a hard moment in my life. But
Mm-hmm.
after that, I went professional ball. Like, I had an opportunity to go to France at a very young age. I was 19, and then
Mm-hmm.
everything changed since then. So if you think about it, if I go to college 4 years, I don't earn any money. But if I was already 4 years and playing as a professional ball, when I earned way more money than I would earn in college. And
Yeah.
it's all pros and contras. It all depends. So I never know how it would be if I would go to college, but it definitely was a goal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking too, like you said, like WNBA, maybe college was kind of, a step towards maybe playing there
Yeah.
afterwards and everything. But I mean, like you said, everything happens for a reason. So now you ended
Yeah.
up where you are today because of that. So,
Yeah, because I changed a lot with the mindset of like, I want to be this, and I want to be the best, and I want to be
mm-hmm.
there, and I want to play in this team, and I want to play blah blah blah. Like, I'm not like that. Like, I used to be like that. I used to have this mindset where I wanted to be, um I don't know, like, I wanted to be playing for the best team, or playing this, or like, it's just different now, because I've seen a lot throughout my career, that
Mm-hmm.
now it's just, I want to be happy, and when I'm happy, I play at my best, and then other opportunities come, because this is more who I am. and this is what I need as a player, and then I play at my best. And when I try to, like, I don't know, set different goals, it gives me, I don't know, I wouldn't say anxiety, but it gives me stress, it gives me failures, it gives me, like, yeah, thinking you can trust people and all that. Like, throughout your career, you think differently, for me.
Yeah. No, but that makes sense, of course. I mean, everything that you go through and everything that happens, it kind of shapes you into who you are today. So that definitely makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's just life isn't, like, it's unfair. It's a hard world. It's a business world. It's politics. Like, I've seen a lot of things happen in front of my eyes that, yeah, inner peace and happiness is, for me, the highest level to success. And since I've been thinking like that, it's been working really well. So, yeah, it changed my mind a lot.
Of course, of course. And I wanted to go back and speak a bit about what you said, because when you were 19, then instead of going to the US, you signed your first pro contract. So that was in France. And I mean, after that, you've been playing for, teams in many different countries. You've been to Sweden, Italy, Turkey, Australia, and now, like you said, you're in Zaragoza in Spain. So, I mean, what has this been like during your career? You've obviously been traveling to a lot of different places, and lived in a lot of different places worldwide. I mean, how has this been for you?
When I was younger, I just wanted to set, like, a path for myself and be like, okay, let's start in France, let's start in Mondeville, like a good team, but not like a great team, just so I just get a lot of minutes. Like, it was a great opportunity. It's a club that always, like, creates young players and get them to better teams. So I was there for 2 years, and then I got the opportunity of Luleå, Sweden, which was the best year so far and will never change. I took the championship there, had one of my best years ever, and my career exploded after that year in Sweden. I had a great team in Italy, doubled my salary from Sweden. Like, it was the perfect steps that I did. And then I choose blindly for the money after that. Instead of staying in Italy, I went to Turkey. And I choose for the money because there was a lot of money waiting for me there. And I had so much bad luck there with the fact that all the foreigners got injured. I was there with the kids, and they paid my money cash. So it was a horrible situation where I got my money cash and I was losing every game, and I was like, where am I? What am I doing? Yeah. So I changed teams, and then from there, the thing is that as a professional athlete, like, you don't choose your path easily. Like, it all depends on the coach, what he wants, do you have injuries, how did you play in the season. Like, it's not that you can say, oh, now I want to go there, now I want to go there. And sometimes in some moments you have no choice. Like, after my year in France, so I went from Turkey, I went back to France for half season. After that, like, I didn't have a lot of opportunities. So there was an opportunity in Hungary, and I just took it because I was like, okay, the money is good. It's actually a good team. Let me take it. It's not that I want to go to Hungary because that's a dream or whatever. No, it's not. It's just I need to go rebuild myself in Hungary, and then we go again. Because that's how it goes. You go again, and you fall, and you rebuild, and you fall, and you rebuild, and in the beginning you bounce back a little slowly, but then you get used to the setbacks. So I went to Hungary. And then after Hungary, I said to my agent, like, I'm done with Europe. I want to go to Aussie. And it's been always a dream to go to Australia and to discover that league because it's one of the best leagues. And he was like, okay, let me see if they're interested in you, because they were already after the World Cup. And that's how I went to Aussie. And that's for example, was a goal for me to go to another country, because I'm a globetrotter. Like, I want to discover all cultures, all people, like, all the way they live. And like, I can tell you from every country how they like it's nice to have. And then from Aussie, I went back to Sweden because my season was only 6 months. So I went back to Sweden because that was the plan before I went to Aussie, because I said to my agent, I want to go to Aussie and I want to go back to Sweden because it's been in the back of my mind to go back there, get another championship. And then Corona came, so that's how it was. And then Spain, like, actually I was about to go back to Sweden, because that was the obvious plan. Like, I talked to the club too in Sweden, like, my ass is coming back. I left so many stuff there too. But then, my agent said, listen, Julie, you have a great opportunity in Spain, and you're 27 and they can still like boost your career in a way that you don't even realize it. Sweden is too soon for you now. With all my respect, he was like, you can play there forever. Like you will be able to come back and get championship after championship, but now you cannot say no to that opportunity. And it was with pain in my heart because I was not ready to leave Sweden, but I have to push my career as much as I can for now. Because it's gonna end sooner than I realize, because with injuries and who knows, I ever want to be pregnant, or with Corona, everything can just change, so that's a little bit how my career went. But I love traveling, like, period. I love traveling. I love discovering the countries. I get bored easily, as in, like, I get, like, for example, Hungary. I was bored there. Like, I wouldn't stay there for another 2 years, even if the team was good or the league or whatever. Like, no, I don't. I want to discover the world. I want to see different league, different players, different way of living and all that. But if things goes well here in Zaragoza and I feel fine, I would stay, though. If I really feel like this is the place where I feel like at peace and all that, I would stay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's amazing. Like you said, you've been to so many different places, and I can imagine that's really cool to discover new countries, new cultures. But has that ever been difficult, though, for you? Because you said you can't always choose where you want to go. It's kind of what happens in your career, but maybe sometimes you go places where you don't know anybody, you don't speak the language. I mean, how have you dealt with that?
It's every time like that. I barely know people. Like, going to the other side of the world last year in Aussie with a time difference where you cannot really talk to your parents or your friends was the biggest challenge of my life. But I wanted to do it. I wanted to test myself. I wanted to get to know another part of me that I'd never been challenged to do. And it's always hard. It's definitely hard. I won't say that it's always perfect path and you're like, oh, I meet only nice people and all that. It's like, since I've been in Sweden, it was such a perfect year with such perfect people. I think that I was looking for another situation like that throughout my career. Like, I was traveling from that country to that country, hoping to find finally a situation that I had in Sweden where I was respected. Not that I'm not respected in other teams, but just the way they knew me. They knew how I played, and they never put me in a box. They said, this is Julie, this is how you play, so you're going to play like that because that's going to give us a championship. And I was looking for teammates and coaches and clubs like that, and it was hard to find because some coaches wanted that, some other teams wanted that, and then the club was like this, and I was like, oh, they're not like they're not like and I just had to accept that it's never gonna be like that again. Every club is different, so I think that the year in Sweden made me look so hard for it again, which is like almost impossible. You can live your day today and try to do exactly the same tomorrow. It's never going to be the same. Well, how hard you even try, it's never going to be the same. So I had to accept that, and in order to that move on from that, that you will never have that perfect year.
Of course.
And trust me, in Sweden it wasn't perfect because it was dark there, it was cold there, but it was just a good situation. It's not where you are, it's with who you be and who you're surrounded with and how you feel inside that makes the country all of a sudden amazing. But it's definitely hard. I'm going to countries where I don't know nobody, and the hardest part for me is getting to know everybody, because you deal with a lot of fake people, you deal with a lot of I'm not gonna say bitches because that's a hard word to say. But you mean people, let's say it like that. You meet with very nice people, but it takes time. You can't just get to know them in one day. You gotta play a game with them. You gotta lose a game with them. You gotta have a quarantine now. See how the team will react to that. Like, there's so many things in the season that you get to know your people, and that part for me is the hardest part because you just don't know. You're like, and that's something that I'm thinking about now that I'm older. Is like, oh, I'm tired of doing that. Opening up myself, and I'm an open book. Like, I like to be surrounded by people. I like to be myself, but it makes me vulnerable. It makes me vulnerable because people see how I am, and they can use that against me. And I always said to myself, Julie, be less of an open book. Be closed up. Like, look from the tree down to see how everybody is. But I'm like, no, I want to be nice to everybody, and I want to have fun with everybody, and I want everybody to be nice. And I'm just And I'm just not like that. I don't want to be looking from a tree, looking down like, how's everybody? So that's something that I want to come back to a team where everybody knows me.
Yeah.
So that's why, for example, going back to Sweden for me was so important, because I know that club knows me, who I am, how I am in every situation. So I left clubs where I feel like they still don't know me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine it's like that as well when, like you said, you maybe don't stay for that long in one place. You have to travel, you stay for a few months, the season. It's difficult as well when you don't have too much time in one place to actually get to know people and the club and everything. It doesn't make it easier, at least. So.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah. And I mean, you said before as well that you've been part of the Belgian national team for a long time. I'm guessing maybe it's a little bit different there because there you probably have, more of your friends, you have the coaches, you maybe have a different structure than the other teams that you play with throughout your career, because that's been more of a constant maybe.
Yeah, I've been with them since I was 15. Obviously, we've been through highs, we've been through lows, but the last years have been through amazingly high moments together. And of course, I know this girl since I was a kid. Most of them I really know since I was a kid. I know the coach since I was 8 years old. He was the coach with the team and the brother in the soccer team. I know players, since I was 8 years old, and it creates a bond. It's different, and it's your own language, it's your country, it's your proud, like it's a whole different thing. I feel like when you go, now that I'm like the last 3-4 years, like I earned my respect in different abroad in different countries. So every time I arrive, like I already have the status of, this is Julie, this is our starting point guard, and she will decide a lot of her plays. Like you come there and you feel like, okay, this is nice. But with the national team, it's different, because you always have to prove yourself again and again, because you have new players coming in and all that. Like it's different though. It's a different way of approaching it, because when you come, like when I came here to Zaragoza, I wasn't stressed to like prove myself here, because I know my worth. I came here to be the point guard, the starting point guard. I'm going to play a lot, and my job here is to lead the team, And then the national team is just you gotta prove yourself, because you're playing against the best players of the country all the time, and everybody is important. Like you have a different role. Like it's a total different perspective,
Yeah, exactly. More of a, maybe not pressure situation, but you definitely feel like you have to prove yourself in a different way.
Yeah, again and again. Like I was out of the squad for the Olympics, and I never ever expected that to happen. It was the darkest period of my life, but it happened. So it just shows that you're never sure of your position. Although I was there for 10 years, 12 even, and you're never sure. So that's the difference with I feel like national team, you gotta reprove yourself. I mean, for me, it was like that, like it changed a little bit after what happened. That things changed a little bit, Before I was like, yes, it's amazing, and we had the amazingly highs, and now that everything that happened for me, it broke my heart, and I'm like rebuilding. I'm reconstructing my heart when it comes to national team, but it's definitely one of the coolest things to do. Like my heart is with the national team. Like I've been the best memories are with the national team. Like it's amazing how when we played the World Cup and we won Spain at their place, like it's just I can't even explain the feeling you have when you win with your country or with your club here in Spain. It's amazing too. Now don't get me wrong, but the country though, different. I can't explain to you. It's different. It's just your heart is just, it's your country. Can't really put it in words.
No, exactly. I mean, I would like to say that I can relate. I can't really, but I mean, obviously I know that you've been working really hard with the team for many years to really, play well together. You took the bronze medal at the 2017 Eurobasket, then finished fourth at the 2018 World Championship. So, I mean, all of the success that you had together, it must have felt like a dream. And then obviously, like you said, being able to represent your country, it's been a lot of good things that you've been able to create together with the national team.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the best things that happened to me is the bronze medal and the fourth place at the World Cup. It's just memories that's never gonna get out of my brain, and I can't wait to tell that to my kids later. I played against
Yeah.
Diana Taurasi, or I played against Brittany Griner, and we almost won them. Like, we were with them for almost the whole game.
Yeah, of course, that's awesome. And like you said, I mean, obviously, now, like, this year was quite difficult for you when you weren't, a part of the squad for the Olympic qualification. But where are you at right now with all of this? Because obviously, I'm not sure how it works now when the Olympics has been postponed, but do you for sure have your spot now? How is it gonna work?
To be honest, like, I'm never gonna be sure of my spot again. Okay. I'm sure about that. Like, I've been, I don't know if I told myself that I'm never going to be sure. And I'm watching this thing now from that perspective. And it's hard, and it's different, and it's difficult. And it's like I say, do I respect it? Yes. Do I understand it? No. And I'll never will. And which athlete will ever understand why they're not playing? Tell me one athlete that's going to say yes. If you don't play, you're always asking, like, why? And you're trying to figure it out, and you're trying to look for a reason, and you're trying to, like, but it's something that for me it's hard to understand, because it was always so in my hometown, and I was so ready to play, because I've been working my ass off for years for that moment, and but I let it go. I accepted it, and I moved on, and I said, okay, if that's the case, well, then we want to show everybody. If that's the thing, we got to fight more for a spot, well, we will fight more. And if I have to work harder, well, I will work harder, because I deserve that spot. I deserve that spot in the team. And if he wants me to work hard, if he wants me to show it more, if he wants me to, I will do whatever it takes. But giving up, no, never. No way. So I'm good with it. Like, I moved on. I had a good conversation with the coach, because we know each other since 20 years. Like, it's not just a coach from, hey, what's up? No, it's somebody who's in my heart. So we had a good conversation, and he was like, I want you back in the squad. It's just, you were in Aussie, you were far away. Like, I didn't want to take the risk, because we had a bad European championship, and I just wanted to move on with the players that were there in November, and blah, 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 and the jet lag. And I was like, okay, fair enough, but I'm going to fight for that spot in the Olympics, and he's like, you are part of the team now. It's up to you to prove yourself, and I'll do whatever it takes. And I'm very motivated. We had a camp in the summer too for 2 weeks with the national team, and I practiced really good, and it felt like I never went away. So, which is nice, and when I'm back with that group, it just a bunch of memories, and I've all players are in my heart, so I'm at a good place right now. But it took me a long time though to understand. But it's not, life is not always fair, it's just how it is. It makes me stronger as a person, to be honest.
Yeah, of course. And now, I mean, like you said, the Olympics, that's next year in Tokyo. What would it mean to you, to be part of that squad and compete in the Olympic Games?
I'm very calm thinking about it. I'm trying to not overthink the fact that I will be there and I will be playing them. I'll really go from, like, day to day with this whole thing with the national team, because after what happened, I'm not in that excitement, let's say, because they took it away from me. So I don't know, like, it's hard for me to go and say that it's exciting to be there, because I don't even know if I will be, so I don't know. To be honest, I'm going from day to day and practice to practice and game to game. And if I'm in the squad, it's going to be the happiest day of my life. If it's not, it's going to be okay too, because I just want to prepare myself, I want to be mentally strong to deal with both, with the whole thing, so I'm not really thinking about it now. I'm just being very considerate about this season, and with the team and with the coach here, and that's my first step, and then we will see after. I'll just work hard and just try to get in the squad, because I know that I deserve it, and we will see what happens after, but I cannot imagine myself at this point playing in the Olympics, because I missed that whole block of getting there, and it's a huge missing piece in my heart that I didn't have the feeling of reaching that goal. So I'm rebuilding myself in the squad, and I want to, how can I say, I just want to, yeah, step by step get back to the squad. It's hard for me. I need to rebuild, but I'm sure that I will be, but I'm not excited about it because I have a different perspective of it now. Like, I try to see it in a different way, less emotional. I'm crying now, but I'm just saying less emotional, in the less excitement, just very focused and very dedicated to that goal. And once I'll get there, I'll be screaming it at the top of the roof. But now I'm very, my feet on the ground, down to earth, because I'm just gonna work hard, and try to reach that goal, and stay very positive, and yeah, and just, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just focus on right now for now and take
Yeah,
it
that's exactly
later. Yeah.
what I will do. Yeah, because with Corona, you don't even know if it's gonna be there. So, and it's not only with me being in the squad or whatever. It's just because Corona is fucking up a lot of things. So you don't even know if it's gonna be there. Like, I feel like we need to go from week to week and window to window. So we will see if it's gonna come. I hope yes, but it's not even sure about that.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. And I mean, speaking about right now, Corona, we spoke a bit about it before. I mean, you're in quarantine right now. How is the situation been for you? Obviously, you went from Sweden to Spain.
I remember when they said it in Sweden that Corona came. I was just like, this cannot be happening. I was so upset because we just played a game against first and second spot. We win it, so we had the home court advantage in the playoffs. And like literally 1 hour after the game, they told us the whole league got canceled. So your world just ends. You're like, what the fuck? What's happening? And Sweden was the first league to be stopped, and then Sweden didn't even went in a lockdown. So I'm like, why we athletes are being punished? But now in Spain, everything went well. We've been practicing for 4 weeks, and I've been playing so damn well. My last game too, like, I had 10 points, 11 assists. Like, I was playing so good, getting to know this team. The coach is one of the coaches since a long time that finally wants me to play quick and wants me to play my game. So I'm really feeling well, and then we're ready to go. And there, Corona hits again. I'm like, fuck, this cannot be happening. But it's okay because everything happens for reasons. It's all to make me mentally so strong. I'll stay positive. Like, I'm never like, the world ends now, whatever. Like, I'm not like that. It's okay. Like, I'm enjoying my time at home. I have a dog. Like, there's so many other positive things you can take out of that. Health comes first anyways. Like, I want my 3 teammates to be healthy. I mean, it's 2 teammates and 1 staff member. I want them just to be healthy. That's priority number 1. And the rest, like, we're healthy in house and they are sick. So what is it like? There's nothing for me to complain about. It's just a pity because I really wanted to start, because it's been such a long time for an official game. It's been 6 months. Like, for a basketball player, it's like it's like 5 years or something.
Yeah.
Like, feels like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was ready to play, man, but it's like that. It's just postponed. It's not canceled, so it's okay.
Exactly. Hopefully it will come very soon.
Yeah, same. I hope so.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, we spoke quite a lot now about your, career up until this point, everything, all the places you've been to. You said you have a lot of good memories. Do you think that looking back, would you be able to pick like one favorite memory that you have from your career up until this point, or maybe a few different moments that you really like, that you remember
I would say the best memory, let's say with my country, it would be, or for my country is very weird to say. I think the best memory for myself with my country is the bronze medal in Czech. That was the first European Championship we participated with, this new generation that we've been building for years. Immediately we came in and we made history, which was amazing. And yeah, I was playing a lot too. Like, I was having a huge role in it, so it's definitely special. And just the team chemistry and the memories we had there, it was just, we were inseparable, and that was amazing. Both of my parents were there, sitting next to each other, which was amazing because they're separated, but they're still getting along, and especially when it comes to basketball, they're like supporting me together. And I would say, yeah, the memory that double lasts for is the championship in Sweden for sure. This is not even hard to think about. Like, it's on the top. I don't think anything will ever come close to that unless I'm winning this championship with Zaragoza. But Sweden for sure, taking the championship there at such a young age, because I was only 22. Um, an accomplishment that warms my heart, and it's definitely one of the best memories. Yeah, and the people along the way too. It's just, yeah, it's something that they never take away from me for sure.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and you spoke about, as well your parents being there when you played as well. I understand that they've been very, very supportive of you during your career, when you were growing up, and even now. I mean, what does that mean to you as well to have your family along with you kind of on this journey?
Yeah, my parents are like, they've been with me forever. They really supported me in everything. They were driving me 1 hour to practice, driving me 1 hour back, because I wanted to play only with that team, because they were the team that beat me with the boys back in the day. So I only wanted to go to that team because I was like, okay, when I go to that team, they're better than my team that I am now. So that's why I want to go there. So I already had that mindset when I was younger. I wanted to be in a good team. I wanted to play at a high level. Always been like that since I was 8 years old. And then they were like, okay, let's do it. And they even bought an apartment at that place so we can just stay there in the weekends, so I can have a perfect rested body. When I was young, they were not pushing me. They don't know anything about basketball. They still don't know what is a screen or something like that or a play. They don't care. Like, they're never going to say, oh, I think you didn't do this or I think you didn't do that. Totally not. They were just supportive. They just wanted to give me the perfect way to follow my dream. So yeah, my parents are really my biggest support. My mom and my dad. My dad, he in France, I had such a hard time in my first 2 years because I had to be the starting point guard. I was so young, and they were not respecting me at all on that position because I was just a little girl from Belgium. Like, who the fuck are you? And he came every home game, driving for hours, watch the game, driving for hours back. Like, he was so supportive. And my mom cooking millions of things, putting in my freezer because I didn't even know how to cook an egg. It's just, I'm an only child, so I obviously always, yeah, was my parents always took care of me in the best like possible way because they only had one. So yeah, definitely my parents are mean a lot to me.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. That definitely makes sense. And I mean, from a personal perspective, would you say that, looking back at your career, have you had to make a lot of sacrifices yourself in order to, get to where you are today, in order to be able to do what you love?
Definitely. Like, I'm leaving my house since I'm 19. Like, I've living on the road. Like, I never had that house feeling, especially because I'm changing every year too. Like, I'm leaving my friends who I consider as my family because I don't have brothers and sisters. Like, I'm leaving my parents. Like, in the summer I'm all the time with the national team. Like, I'm giving up a chill youth life where I could be studying and partying every Thursday night with my friends, and then you grow up. I feel like you miss that. You miss your youth a bit. You miss out on your youth years a lot. It's a lot of sacrifices for sure because you have to grow up so fast. Like, you have no time to be a kid anymore because coaches don't accept you to be the kid of the team. So you have to behave all the time, focus all the time, morning, afternoon, give the best version of yourself. Your body is just, they gotta take care of your body. And then sometimes you're just like, I just want to pop a beer and eat fries. And I don't want to take care of my body, but I have to because tomorrow morning at 10 we have weights, for example. And it's sacrifices, but you get so much in return. But it is definitely a sacrifice, just sitting at home, not be able to talk to nobody, for example. Like, it's not even what people think it is. People think, oh, it must be an amazing life. Yes, it is, but you have the front page, but there's a lot on the back side of the page that people forget to read. The small letters. When you get a contract, you don't read the small letters. Well, it's exactly what it is. And the people along the way, you meet great people, but you meet people that you just like, how is this possible? And after a couple of years, I would say, after now I'm in this pro life for 8 years, and I would say when you meet the real ones, like, try to keep them close, because there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of people who are genuinely happy for you when you succeed. And if you find those people who are genuinely happy for you when you succeed, well, keep them close, because there's not many. There's not many. Trust me, there's not. People are ready for you to fail. They're getting their hands together when you're doing bad. They're waiting for you to fail. There's so many people like that. When you have those people who are genuinely crying for you of happiness, where they feel that same happiness that you have when you succeed, those people are the ones you got to keep close. And not those people when you fail, when they're like, are you okay to hear your story about your failure? No, it's the same people that when you do good and when you do bad, it's the same people that be there for you. Not the ones when you're good, they're there. When you're bad, you're there. Like, the same people. And when you find those ones and you have that base who has your back, you get there. But there's a lot of people along the way that fell off the train. A lot, where I thought, yes, this person will, she or he will do whatever it takes. It's not like that. And that's what my dad always told me. That he said, you got to watch out with your friends, because you think you are like me. He always says, you are like me. You have that heart of gold, and you think you want to do everything for everybody, and you think they're going to do the same thing, but they are not. And you'll see. And he always says that. He says, every year you're going to lose 2 or 3 friends every year. And I'm like, hell no, Dad. What are you talking about? He'll say, you'll see, and you'll have that small base that always be the same. And he was right. He was right. My dad.
Yeah.
Parents are always right.
Right.
And mom too, by the way. Not to say about mom, because mom always warns me about everybody, and I'm like, whatever, mom. But she was like, I told you so. When she says that, I told you, and I'm like, yes, mom, you told me so. I know.
You don't want to hear it anymore.
Yes, hate it when she says it.
Yeah.
But she's right.
Yeah. And has this been easier, you think, as you've gotten older to kind of see these things? Maybe it was more difficult, starting so young to recognize it.
When I was young, I would bake pancakes for everybody and bring them to practice. Like, what was I thinking? Now I'm not baking pancakes. I bake pancakes after 6 months to see who are the real people who are in my bubble. I'm not my teammates. I love all my teammates. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, you always have that. Like, you have the teammates that you compete on the court with, and outside the court, you're not gonna get along with 12 women. Not possible. 12 women, what are we talking about? You can never get along with 12 women like the same way that you do with 1 or 2. But I'm just saying, like, I'm definitely still an open book, but now I'm like, before I would care who likes me and who doesn't. Now I don't care. Like, I'm Julie, this is who I am. I decided to be an open book, and I decided to be myself wherever I go, or try at least. If you don't like it, go on. I don't care. If you like it, great. Come in my bubble, and let's have so much energy and so much positive, and let's just rule the world. Let's just discover the world together then. But if you're not in my vibe, or you don't like it, before I would be trying to do everything to get that people like me. I would change my behavior around them. I would go to that bubble. I'll be like, oh, I have to act like now all this, and I have to act like now. I'm not like that. Like, this is who I am, and I'm happy with who I am. And if you're not, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
That changed me. And I since I'm doing that, since I'm having that inner peace with myself and with who I am and who I want to be, changed my life. I have so much less worries. I go home and I'm like, yeah, cool, had a nice day. Before I would be, fuck, her face, she was looking weird at me when I made that joke, for example. And I'm like, I don't even pay attention to it anymore. So it helps. But it took me a while, and it took me a long time. Even last year I was still struggling with it. Because I just want everybody to be happy around me, and I have a hard time when somebody is not. Like, I try to, like, get that people into that good vibe, and I just waste energy with it. I can't make everybody happy around me. It's not possible, and I had to learn that. It was the hardest thing ever. But yeah, as an athlete, you can, because you're losing yourself in the story. Then you cannot do that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that quite a lot of people can probably relate to, wanting to make everyone happy. And it's probably a dream for many to get to that point where you say that you are today, and just not caring about anyone else and just focusing on your energy. But I mean, what did you do to get there? Was it just the lessons along the way of getting
hurt a lot of times? Lessons, getting hurt, walking with your head against the wall a million times, making the same mistake. That for me was a thing that got me to the mind, like, are you gonna make that same mistake now for a fourth time in a row, or are you gonna change it? Like, and then you just you read books, you read not that I read a lot of books, but like I read one book about like the inner peace thing, about like things that you control really well,
Mm-hmm.
right? And yeah, so I read books, I read quotes, I followed inspirational people, and I just started to like realize that they were saying that too, like you got to focus on your own energy and only share your energy with people that are really worth it, you know. And that changed my life. It totally did. And I just start to choose wisely, you know, my people and my bubble, and don't let people come in that easily anymore. And like, you know, yeah, just different, just this old, you get old and you just learn things, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you get older, you just realize a lot of stuff, not only in friendship and in love, and with everything.
Yeah. Just a learning experience, really.
Absolutely a learning experience. I'm not there yet though. I'm still having moments where I'm like, no, Julie, you're losing your energy in something that you cannot control. It's like, that's the part that I had to learn too. Like, try to, the things that you cannot control, try to like not waste your energy in that.
Mm.
Try to ignore it, or at least hide your emotions, because I'm an open book. I'm emotional. Like, you'll really see what's going on with me. And I had to control my emotions, because they can take, that's what I'm saying, it makes you vulnerable, and people can take advantage of it, as well a coach, as well a player, as well, like, you know. Because if you show your emotion, you're always the first one to who's been seen with the bad emotion too, you know.
Yeah.
If you're frustrated, for example, it's you can see it all over my face. I mean, you used to be like that.
Mm.
And if, a lot of coaches told me, like, you got to be careful with that, because people see that, like your teammates see that, and they get insecure with you. And it's like, yeah, and it's true, I cannot be like, I have to hide my emotion. When I was young, I could be like, oh, you know, like, what is she doing? For example, like a young player
Mm.
that I'm never going to play with, that I only play in practice, I would lose my energy. My whole practice would be pissed if she would forget a play, for example, or forget an exercise. But not, I would be so pissed for that, because I would not understand. I'm like, how is that possible? When I was young, I was so focused, I was so dedicated to like know to play. Like, I would not understand, you know. And now I'm like, hey, you know what, I'll help you, and I'll try to like help her in the thing, and I'll try to be not frustrated, I'll try to like help her, try to be a leader, try to be positive, try to be an example, try to, you know, I changed all of it in like positive attitude, you know, because body language is everything on a court. Everybody sees you as a point guard, everybody sees you, you're a
Yeah.
leader, like you're an example. And it changed too, since I'm doing my own basketball camps, I'm working with youth, and I want to be, not try, I want to be the example for them. I want that they know that body language and positive attitude and all that helps you throughout your career, that your mindset is just different when you see everything positive, when you're not getting frustrated, when you're not being mad at a teammate. And it's not easy. It's a process. I tell them every time. But like, when I do my camp and I see a bad facial expression, immediately I take them to the side, because that's what they did with me too when I was younger, the coaches, and it helped me so much being the player that I am today, you know. So
Yeah. No, that makes sense, of course. And it's kind of like what you said before as well. When you were younger, you were more focused with all the goals and everything that you wanted to achieve. And today it's more about the happiness and well-being and finding that good energy, I guess. That's
yeah,
something that you probably discovered along the way.
yes, because it's gonna make me stable as a player too. It's gonna make me consistent. It's not gonna make me a player where one week I'll be having 20 points and 10 assists, and the other week I'll have 3 points and 1 assist, for example. Like, I try to be, because when I find my inner peace, and when I find my happiness, and when I find out what truly matters to me, it makes me a consistent player. It makes me the player coaches want. It makes me a player. It makes me the point guard my teammates want. You know, because they know with Julie, this is what we get. It's never gonna change. And throughout my career, I realized that, and yeah, it just helped me along the way. This is what I need. I'm not talking for other players. Every athlete has a different mindset. Every athlete has um, different ways of dealing with stress or pressure or failure or whatever.
Hmm.
And I got, throughout the years, this is how I deal with it. Like, I'm just very positive. I live life. to the fullest. When I'm free, I live life. I don't stay home. Like in the summer now too, I played soccer the whole summer because that's the only thing we could do in Belgium. We could just play outside. That's the only way we could do sports activities. I picked up my phone, called First Division, Club Bruges was my favorite city, soccer team. I called them. I said, "Can I practice?" And he said, "Yes." Bang! I practiced with him the whole summer. People were like, "Oh, you gonna be injured? Yeah, you're gonna." Oh, he was like, people were being so dramatic about it. I was like, if I get injured, then I'll be injured, and then I'll sit out. It's alright. Like, it's gonna be okay. I'm trying to stay in shape. I'm trying to get a good season in Zaragoza. It's not gonna be my home workouts doing squats and 200 push-ups. I don't want to look like a Hulk. I need to run. I need to have fun. I need to clear my mind. Like, it's my way to deal with all the Olympics we're not going through. It's my way to deal with. I had Sweden that abrupt end in Sweden. It's my way to deal with it. Like, this is my way to deal with it. This is me. I truly look for happiness in life, things that makes me happy. I do it. It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter if it's a wrong idea or whatever. That makes me happy. I'll do it, whatever it takes.
Yeah, it's
And
on your
yes,
terms.
it would be maybe better if I was at home doing squats workouts and on the streets running on the hard floor, maybe to run 10 miles. And yes, maybe that would be the better idea. Would that make me happy? No, it would make me depressed. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I feel so good right now because I did that. It makes me so happy. It makes me have a great memory. It makes me, I met new people, and they're supporting me from a different sector. It's soccer, so they see things differently. So I learn so much from them because they're in first division women. They don't earn anything. They go practice every day after their work, and I'm like, wow. So I just saw that these people are different in basketball because we're earning money. Here we are earning money, and it's business, and it's agents, and it's a dirty world. You gotta know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, blah 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 blah. And they're just doing it because they love it. I'm not saying I'm not doing basketball because I love it, but I'm just saying the world is just different. They're just going, practicing, playing the game, going home, and they get, what is it, 50 euros for a winning game. And it just opened my world. It just saw a different perspective again, and that's me. And if some people will say she's crazy for doing it, well, what if she twists her ankle, blah blah blah. Well, whatever. When I was 22, I wouldn't do it because I would care what people say. I would care what this or this one would say, or this one would say, or what. Now I'm like, no, this is what I need. This is what I want to do, and I'll do it. And if I get hurt, or if it was the wrong decision in the end, well, then it is. But at that point, I knew that was the right decision to do.
Yeah, so you kind of found your way of doing it and what makes you happy and what makes you, motivated and want to keep going and enjoy life.
Yes, because the balance for me, I had my personal trainer. I practiced a long time with my personal trainer in Belgium, my basketball skills coach, Julie. Back in the day when we didn't have national teams in the summer, I would used to go practice with him. And he once told me, he was like, there's something about you that I really look up to, and I try to tell the story to my players that I'm working with, my younger players. And I was like, what is he going to tell me now? He was like, you are one of those players who find a perfectly balance between being a crazy athlete and go for your goals and reaching them, to being a totally perfect normal girl who just loves living life and finds a perfect balance in it. Like he said, you can just go for a world cup and like isolate yourself for a month, not go out, like not drink, and be crazy motivated about it. Or when it's done, you'll go into Ibiza, go party with your friends, and you'll be doing your thing to clear your mind. And then when the season starts back again, bang, you're back into this competitive mode. You go. And he said that balance that you have, he says it's possibly so good to like keep going when you do that without being basketball tired. Like, I'm never tired of basketball because I find that perfect balance. And I'm trying to tell the people that they inspire. If I inspire people, like I try to tell them that too. Like there's more in life than basketball. There is more in life than basketball. Because when it doesn't go good in basketball, there's so many other things that are great.
Yeah.
And I want the kids that come to my basketball, they understand that. Like when you come to my camp, there's in the morning, the first thing we have like a camp dance. We do a TikTok or whatever, like this. We do a TikTok thing. They play basketball all morning, and afternoon we go to the pool. We go to the pool. Of course we go to the pool. We go to the pool, coach. Yeah, we go to the pool. We don't have to, no. We go enjoy the pool now, because we're bonding now. Like I'm not gonna put you in the gym for 9 hours. No, you have time enough to be in the gym. You know, when you're a kid, you're a kid. You need to enjoy your time as a kid. Time enough if you want to be a basketball player to be practicing 2 hours a day, morning and afternoon. Tell me about it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, this is who I am, and you either love it or you don't. But this is who I am. This is how my career is still going on and is still going strong, because
Yeah.
I find that balance.
Yeah. And do you think that balance has helped you? Because, I mean, I can imagine as a professional athlete, you always have times with difficulties and challenges and everything. Do you think this is something that has helped you overcome those challenges, the fact that you have the balance?
Yes, because I know how to get away from it all, with going with my friends, with being on a soccer court, with having a good party or whatever. It just, I know how to get out of it. Like, I know how to let basketball go for a little bit, and that's important. If you can't let it go, you're in this circle, and you go down and you go down and you get more down. Like, you have to find like a positive. It can be something small, but if you have it, then I think you'll be fine. When you have a failure, or when you have a, yeah, it's just, I know it's hard, but like, for example, with the national team, it was my birthday was at the same time when they got the games, and I was like, well, at least I can celebrate my birthday. I can be at home with my friends and my surroundings.
Yeah. If you're trying to look for the positive, like you said, there's always something good that you can find in everything. So,
Absolutely. And just
yeah.
health, just think about that. When you're healthy,
Yeah.
you have your 2 legs and your 2 arms, you can function like a normal
Exactly.
person. I think there's people in worse places than losing a game, or not playing a lot in a game, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
so many more things going on in life than basketball. Like, so I learned that from all the unfair things. When I say, oh, it's so unfair, I'm not na 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 na, or just go na na na, I think about, yeah, but think about how unfair it is when you get run over by a drunk driver, for example, and you lose an arm. How unfair is that? You know what I mean? So I try to, like, I know it's drastic what I'm saying now, but anyways, like, there's always people worse than what you're in right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. No, that makes sense. And I mean, today, obviously you come a far way from since you were a kid, but what is it that still motivates you today to play basketball the same that it did when you were a kid who, grew up and found the love for basketball?
Because I'm so good in it. I'm just so good in it. Like, I still didn't, I feel like I still didn't get the best out of me. Like, I feel like I can still give so much. I'm not done yet. And I'm so motivated to get that best version of myself on the court, because I feel like now I'm on an age where I accepted everything, and I know who I am, and I know how to deal with certain stuff. And I feel like I will be an even better player than I was when I was younger, because now I know how to, I'm just experienced now. So I know that I still have a lot in me to keep going. So I'm totally not done with the game yet. I love it too much. I love the competing. I love entertaining the crowd. I love leading the court. Like, I love it. And I'm not done yet. And I'm just so good in it. Like, what am I gonna do? Sit behind a desk and take phone calls? Like, it's not like I want to do this as long as I can, and then after I want to coach kids. Like, I want to stay in this environment as long as I can, because I want to inspire young kids. When I see young kids that the way they are when I was younger, when I see this same mindset and all that, like I was young, I want to help them. I want to inspire them. I want to push them. I want to get the female athletes to a higher platform, because it's been a disaster in Belgium. It's been a disaster all over the world. But I want to, I don't know, I want to keep changing the world. I think I'm changing it, but like helping female athletes, helping Yeah, young girls and all that with their dreams. Doesn't matter what it is. I think I want to stay in the kids after that. So I don't see myself quitting or stopping to do some desk work or whatever. It's not who I am. So I still want to go on, and I just love it. I just love this life. Like it's just nice going to practice and what you love every day. I know it's a sacrifice, but though, like, look, man, I'm in Zaragoza. Like, I'm in Spain. I'm eating tapas, drinking cervezas on my days off with my teammates. It's nice, it's a nice life. And then on Monday when we start again, you just work hard, you win a game, and then Sunday you can enjoy it. That feeling is just priceless. Everybody knows that day off after a winning game is priceless. It's priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And just that confidence as well, but also the love that you have for the sport. I mean, that's great.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have the confidence all the time, but I think I changed. I just want to, I'm just like, just let's do it. I've been through it all now. Like, fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go now until it stops. Like, and nobody's gonna hold me back. And whatever thing that crossed my path, well, I'll deal with it. But I found my inner peace. I found how to handle certain situations, and it's gives you confidence. That gives me confidence. Because if I have to tell you what gives you confidence from last year, what game or what situation, I got cut by the national team. I was about to shine in Sweden. They got corona, and in Townsville, I won, what was it, 4 games in total or 5 games in total for the whole season. So if I have to look for my confidence basketball wise, I cannot find it. You know, where am I gonna say, yeah, I had a crazy year. I was averaging out. I had a title there, and no. So I'm getting it from my personality, from who I've become. That's where I get my confidence from, and that's stronger than any personal performance for me as a person.
Yeah. And do you think that, being within sports for so long since you were a kid has helped you to shape you to the person that you are today and has taught you a lot of these values and the mentality that you have?
Yeah, I wouldn't be the same woman if I would just go to college, and not college as in basketball college, but just go to high school and then study for something. I don't know, physiotherapist or whatever. Like, wouldn't. I would not have become the same woman as I am today. I would just grow slowly. Like, I would. No, I would not. I think it's athletes are different kind of people. They're a different category in this world. I'm saying high level athletes that's competing every day, like getting paid for what they're doing, or at least trying to get paid for what they're doing. I'm talking about athletes as in runners and all that. I know one of my best friends, she's a runner. She don't get anything, and she's sacrificing her life for it to go to Olympics. So those people, the professional athletes, they're different. It's a different category on this planet Earth. Like, nobody understands us like us, especially the female athletes. There's nobody that understands us like us. They Men's athlete, they don't know what it is to be a female athlete. They don't know what it is to always be put second. We have COVID tests later than the men's, a day later than the men's. They get every week tested. We get tested only before an official game. Like, it's little stuff. We as women always come second everywhere. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's nobody that will understand that but us female athletes, and especially the ones that doesn't get paid or barely get paid, because we don't have to complain. I'm getting paid really well, and but the ones that doesn't get paid and sacrifice their life, their jobs to get to a goal, to just win a medal or to just be at a European championship or Olympic games or whatever, man, different people,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
mindset.
And I mean, you spoke so much about your basketball camp as well, that is for young girls, right? Is that kind of
Mm-hmm.
a reason as well why you're so involved in that and why it's important to you to, give them the opportunity to play basketball at such a young age? A lot of
Yeah,
girls.
yeah, absolutely. And it's only for females. We don't let boys in because we are like, they don't understand us. I just want to focus on women, and I'm doing it together with my best friend, and her partner is the runner. She runs. She's a
Mhm.
professional runner, and we are with three. We're having three different ways of living, but we have all three the same mindset, and it builds us. Like, we are such a strong team together, and we want to bring that over to the kids. Like, or the running girl has her own part of bringing her part of sports to them, and then my best friend brings the part, and then I bring my part, and it's just a good dynamic. So Yeah, I just love working with kids because they're so young and they can still learn so much, you know. They asked me one time, do you want to be the coach of like a first team? Hell no. It must be so hard. That's what I said that the other day to our coach. I was like, coach, I don't know what he said. Oh, he had two kids. He has two kids, man. So I saw him at the gym, and he brought his son to practice. He plays basketball too, and I was like, oh, I just met the coach. I don't really know him. I was like, oh, is that your son? He was like, yeah, I have two boys. I was like, oh, no girl. He was like, no. I would say, well, I can imagine you have 12 princesses running on your court, and he was like, yeah, you know it, because I'm like, it's just for a man coaching 12 women. I mean. I'm
Must be
putting my
difficult.
head off for that because that's just women's are just we're emotional wrecks sometimes. I mean, on our periods, we always have something going on, or when our boyfriend broke up with us, it's always something with women. So we're so dramatic. It's just true. We're not like
It's
men's. Men's can take more than women's. It's just right. It's true. We're more emotional. It's just like that. So when you're a kid, they take in more. Women's from our age are stubborn. They don't take anything. They take everything personal. Kids, they want to learn. They're so willing. They are looking with this like this the kids' eyes when you talk, that they go open. They look at you like, wow. So you know that you can mean something for them. I don't want to be coaching no women of 25 years old who think she already made it. Like, I'm not gonna put my time in that because I know I'm gonna fight with my players.
So you will want to coach the kids if you're going to coach in the
Yeah,
future with
like
young girls.
I wouldn't say kids. I would say like kids from like, let's say, under 16, under 18, under 14, like girls who just getting discovered their talent and all that. That definitely would be something I would like to do.
Yeah. And you spoke a lot about as well wanting to inspire kids. I mean, what is it that you hope that you can give kids or inspire them to do, especially girls then? I mean, where do you see, the future of women's basketball and inspiring young basketball players today?
It's a good question. I've I've thought about that a lot of times. That what is it that I'm very popular when it comes to kids. I know that kids like me because I'm very approachable and I'm very open to them. I'm not like I always pretend like I'm one of them, you know. And I think that I want to show them that when you truly have a dream and you look it in a positive way without pressuring yourself too much for it, you can do it. And it doesn't matter if it's I want to be a basketball, I want to be a police officer, I want to be, I don't know, it doesn't matter what it is. If you really have your mindset on it, you don't give up, you can do it. But you just need to have the right mindset. And I'm not saying the mindset where you want to go run outside at 5 in the morning and all that. Yes, it's important to work hard, but it's just saying like the mindset, like that positive mindset, that a good entourage with your parents that's not pressuring you every day. It's just whatever you want, and they support you in that. With that, you can reach your goal, or at least going in the right direction. And I just want to show them that it's bigger than basketball too. That you need to find the things that you love in life in order to function in basketball. That if girls are having that mindset like I have, that they can, if they find a balance, they can make it. You know,
Hmm.
hard
Yeah.
work definitely pays off. Hey, it's so important. If you don't work hard, you're not getting anywhere. I'm not saying that they're working their asses off in my camps, but I'm just trying to like get that right mindset. It's so important. It's being coachable, being good body language, being open to critics, being like this is something I want to inspire the young ones with.
Yeah. Yeah. From the beginning, the right mindset before they kind of
Yeah,
get going.
yeah, yeah. Stay positive. Like, don't overpressure yourself. Talk to your parents about it. Like, tell them like this is my goal, but I don't want you to pressure me. Don't let them yell at games at you. Like, try to like find a good dynamic, because that's always the speech I give after my camps when all the parents are sitting at the stands. Like, I'm telling them, don't you dare saying what your kid has to do. Unless you were playing professional at my level, you can, but otherwise, it doesn't matter what you did. You can help them. You cannot pressure them. I
Yeah.
remember the first kid that came in my camp, her dad was standing at this, yelling from the stands to her how she had to shoot. And I just told him, I said, get out. She's staying with me 5 days and you're going to get out. And I'll learn her how to shoot. Don't worry. Like, that's what we're here for. This kind of parents, there's too many of them.
Yeah.
There's too many of them. And the social media pressure and everything, it's a new generation. I'm trying to I want to get these kids to the right paths, and that they need to have that inner peace already at a young age, because with the social media, ugh, the
Of
pressure is
course,
sky high.
yeah, it's difficult. It's a lot of different things. But I mean, where you are today and being a professional basketball player, do you see yourself as a role model that you have, a platform to actually inspire and teach kids these values?
Yeah, I think I do. I think I want to give classes later, like how to, maybe to parents or to kids, like how to change from the young kid from the block to oh, I actually have talent, and how do I handle the talent? Yes, definitely. Like my best friend from the camp, we have our own team now, the under 19 of a team in Brussels, and we're already how you say that, leading them to be behaving well and all that. Like, she's coaching them every day, not every day, but 3 times a week, and I'm texting with them or video calling, like I'm trying to help them. So we already started a team, so everybody that wanted to come and try out for the team, like now we have a team, like we're starting already to trying to do that in so many different ways. But definitely is a goal of mine to get yeah, to be a role model. I always love that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to make the people around me better. I don't care if the next generation is 10 times better than what we did with the national team. I could only imagine. I could say, hey, coach from my camp, and look at her now, you know,
Yeah.
would make me so happy.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. And I saw as well, it's when I was, searching around, I saw that you have your own clothing brand. You have like a web shop
Yeah,
online where you have some
yeah.
clothing with like some cool slogans. And one of the slogans that came up the most was freedom to dream. Is that something as well that means a lot to you? I mean, I
Yeah,
figured it goes kind of along with this. I mean, what does it mean to you, this?
yeah, it definitely is what I want to say to these kids, and to not only kids, can be an adult, can be whatever. Like, you need to have the freedom to dream. Like, you don't have to follow a dream that's been told you. Like, if you want to be that, you have to do it. And if you want to be doing that, you like the freedom to have a voice, to do whatever you want to do in life. It's so important, because you only have one life. Like, why would you study something that you actually don't want to do, but your parents want it, or you think it's better, or whatever, and that's actually my point of view. Like, you need to have the freedom to dream. Need to have the freedom to set your own goals as a young kid. And of course, you need the support of your parents. I'm not saying you need to set the goal to be a thief or something, you know, and rob a store or whatever. No, well, of course you need to have the good goals, but with the good support, with a good mindset, with a good path, you can do it, But I feel like everybody needs to be having the freedom to do whatever they want. That's what I'm saying. Freedom. I also have the shirt, freedom to speak, freedom to yet to love, to anything. Like, I feel like that's the whole problem of our new generation right now. Like, there's too many, like, yeah, divided parts,
Yeah.
Just let everybody live. I know it's never gonna happen, it's gonna get worse, but at least it's it's a state of mind. It's a point that I'm trying to prove.
Yeah. And it's what you want to bring at least. And then you never know, if people are really going to listen to what you have to say, but it's what you hope to inspire others to do
Yeah,
what you want them to, the mindset you
yeah,
want them to have.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why I'm always like, when there's a Pride in Belgium, I'm going there because I have a lot of gay friends. I just want to support them. I'm rocking them rainbow colors. I'm just like, yeah, because just be yourself, whatever you want to be. Trans, gay, lesbian. I don't care. Just be you. Black, white, anything. I feel like the world would be such a better place if we just accept each other, and let
Yeah.
everybody do what they want to do, what they want to follow, whatever culture, whatever religion, whatever dream, whatever goal. Just let them do their thing, because it's just everybody's just judge. Everybody's just point fingers. Everybody's just saying, "Oh, why you doing this? Why are you doing that?" Like, it's just judging. Social media, judging, same thing. You post a picture, oh, how many likes will I have? People judging, oh no, what would she say? Like, people are just so easy. Behind the screen, they can say, oh, no, 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 no. In front of your face, they're never gonna do it. That's what I'm saying. So it's a bad part about social media, is controlling our lives right now. It's not giving us any freedom anymore, because what would these people say? What would they say? Before, we had to write a letter to get it to our friend. So
Yeah, exactly. It's quite different
yeah,
today and more difficult
yeah,
maybe with everything. Yeah. And I mean, speaking about dreams and everything, this podcast is obviously, we want to share the different stories of professional athletes, because like you said, everyone is different. Every athlete has a different story, different mindset, and everything. And we want to share that it's okay to be different. It's okay to have your own path, and everyone's journey is unique. So for those who are listening to this episode and have big dreams, but they might not know how to go after them, maybe they're held back by different things, what advice would you give to them in order to pursue their dreams?
Like, in order to reach the top, you gotta when you start from the bottom, you gotta learn from the top. Like, be open to talk about it with anybody, with people that already reached their goals, or with people that are being on a very good path. Like, try to take the example. Try not to compare yourself. If you compare yourself with others, it's going to be difficult, because everybody has their own path. Everybody is not having this same road to success. Like, you have people who you think like, oh my God, their road to success seems so easy. And meanwhile, mine, I'm climbing mountains, I'm swimming oceans to get to my goal. I feel like when you compare, it's hard. It's taking away your energy. When you're not comparing and you're trying to learn, everybody can teach you something. Everybody. Not even athletes, normal people on the streets, people that work in a cafe and tell their story. Everybody can teach you something about life, or about goals, or about how to deal with certain situations. Like, be open to learn, because it's hard, It's hard because people compare all the time. Oh, she's better than her. Oh, but she works harder. Or, but she's more with it. Like, everybody compares. She's more dedicated than you. Or, I should be doing. Oh, she runs for 1 hour every. I should run for an hour. Like, no, just try to look for your own path. Try to look what will give you, or what will bring you success. Get the right people on your train to success, and then I think you can do it. But don't compare.
Don't compare. And it's kind of like the things you said before as well, like finding your inner peace, finding what is, your energy, protecting your energy along the way.
Yeah, protect your energy. Absolutely. Don't waste it on people that think they know, or think they can create your career or whatever. Like, try to take try to take the right people on your path, and not waste energy on those people where you don't have the good vibes from. Vibes are everything, man. Vibes are everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we know you're very busy, obviously, with basketball. You love playing soccer as well. But aside from that, if you have any time left after you travel and everything, what else do you like to do? Is there anything else that you're passionate about, or that you just enjoy doing?
In my season?
I mean, in your spare time, whenever you have the time, when you're not, occupied with basketball or soccer, whatever you do, anything else that you like to do?
I would say, in my season away from home, I would, during practices, I like playing video games. I like to watch a series. I'm not a movie person. I like to walk my dog and have spend time with my dog, but everything easy, because you practice a lot. On days off, I love to go shopping with teammates, drink coffee, enjoy the sun, like, do activities. I hate being in the house on my days off, because that's been doing all week. But my hobbies are actually just spend time with people. Like, I love hanging around. I love being around people. Like, when I'm home, when I'm not in my season, like, I'll be traveling, city trips, partying, laying on the beach with my friends. Like, everything will be done with people around me. Like, I'm barely alone. Like, if I have one night alone, like, I'm like, it brings me back to where I am, wholly friend home. But I'm just the one that enjoy life. Like, if there's something to do and they call me, I'll always say yes if I have time. Like, to go for a good dinner, like to have a drink. Like, I just enjoying life, talking, like, being around my close persons. I would say this is who I am. Enjoying life, especially when basketball is over. I need my time to recover from living in this 2 hours game, sleep, eat, repeat, that dedication. And then just just enjoy life, I would say. Nothing. I don't really have hobbies. I don't paint, or I don't know. I really have nothing. I cannot even think about anything. Cooking, I'm just not even good in cooking, so I wouldn't say cooking either. Or I'd rather go for a good dinner than cook my own meal and enjoy it. Oof, I hate cooking. Okay. So
yeah, hanging out with others, finding that balance that you spoke about, that's important too.
I'm an only child, so I always look for my friends.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds really good. I really only had one question left, and it's, if anybody wants to get in contact with you or follow you, where can they do that?
Yeah, they can just slide in my DM on Instagram. Like I almost always answer. If it's not a weird question, I'll always be open to answer. So there's the Julie35 Vanloo on Instagram is actually the only platform that I'm really intensively on. I don't really have Twitter. I don't have Facebook and all of that. Like I don't really like those I like Instagram because I feel like it's a platform where you can reach out to people quite easily. So you can always ask me there anything they want. Like I'm very open to have a chat with anybody about their careers or whatever questions they have about their dreams. Like I would love to inspire people as much as I can.
Okay, perfect. It's on Instagram. We'll put the link as well in the description so people can reach out to you and follow you.
That's dope.
In the future. Of course. I just wanted to say thank you, really, Julie. It's been, super nice to speak with you. It feels like it's 5 minutes, but we've been speaking for a long time. And you've been very, open and honest, like you say, sharing a lot. And we appreciate that. And I think that people who listen will have a lot of good things to take away from this conversation. I know I have a lot of good things that I can take away and apply to my life. So that's really good. So thank you again. We really appreciate it and wish you all the best of luck. We'll follow you.
Thank you so much.